Yeah, the answer is no. Ethan said he could be here. He'll be here somewhere between 4:15 to 4:25. Yeah. He'd be coming here right after work. He won't be able to bring his dog. Maybe tomorrow you can ask him when he's here if he can bring his dog, okay? Brendan's going to eat it. That's what he's saying. Brendan's been kind of hungry lately. But Taco Bell is not... For not regular food, Taco Bell isn't cutting it anymore. Was that to defeat the mini bosses before I go for the boss? I'm like, I lost my mojo. It's always the pain of going, leaving, like, coming back to these type of hard games. Lose the flow you once had. Oh, just run right into a bullet. You ready to read? Huh? You don't want to? Okay. Huh? We'll go in about an hour and a half. Huh? So double click the word. So double click the top left of your square. Or hold Alt and press enter. Yeah. Oh. That's not the plan. We're gonna go at the time. Yeah.
And then there's Le Olam, which is like Olam means pretty much everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then Le is just like to, so to everything, or like I guess forever. I guess would be another translation. Is what it seems like.
Hmm.
And then Hallelujah is just combining that first word of the psalm with the shortened version of God's name.
Yeah.
So I can almost understand the full thing.
That's cool. That's really cool.
So if you want to get in on that, let me know because I have a plan and I have the means to achieve that plan with the internet and the Bible app.
Oh.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
because you can get the Hebrew text,
Mm-hmm.
and then they actually have a recording for each chapter, and so you can look at each of the words. And doing a little bit of Duolingo helps because you
Mm-hmm.
kind of familiarize yourself with
Yeah.
letters and like reading what's basically the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
So fun times ahead.
Yeah.
I tried figuring out like how long it would take if you were to do one chapter a week
Mm-hmm.
and go through the entire Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have 22 years. So I got to find out if there's a way to shorten that. But I know that as I get further along, it'll be easier because I'll see the words and recognize them a little
Mm-hmm.
bit better.
Yeah.
So study time.
So yeah. So I'm going to start reading with the agreement. Okay. And would you like to read?
Sure.
In heart of transitioning.
Okay, I heard a quack. Who did the quack? Is that? Ah.
Well,
I
it
know
looks like
he-
someone opened it, but
That's quack, dude. It's just a button.
hey Bailey, was the last duck for Ethan?
Huh. That is hilarious. Thank you. Oh, for me. Thank you.
For who? Yeah, isn't that the one we got for Ethan?
Blue?
Oh, mine's right here.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Oh, 1 second. Is that your phone? Hey Bailey. Can you pause turn off your iPad? Because we're reading. You got a movie going on your iPad while you're on the laptop. Go stop the movie on your iPad. No, we're going to be reading.
It's story time. Man, it's been a while since I've done even like the new colors. It's like that same process, right? Prayer.
Actually, this is we literally just read.
Just read.
And this asks like what any themes stood out to you.
Cool.
And then I just do the themes that stood out to me.
Hey, I like
Cool.
your jacket.
But I usually
Thank
do
you,
start. I
Bailey.
start the day with a prayer the first time I read the Bible, and I did that earlier.
Cool. Okay. So we're going to read Isaiah 9, verses 1b through 10, verse 4.
I like your jacket.
Thank you, Bailey.
I also like your necklace.
Thank you.
All right, he's gonna read.
As the earlier time has humiliated the country of Zebulun and the country of Naphtali, the later one has honored the way of the sea, the other side of the Jordan, Galilee of the nations. The people walking in darkness has seen great light. Those living in deathly gloom, light has shone on them. You have made the nation many, you have given it great joy. They have rejoiced before you like the rejoicing at harvest, like people who celebrate at the dividing of plunder. Because the yoke that burdened it, the rod on its shoulder, the boss's club over it, you have shattered as on the day at Midian. Because every boot of someone trampling with a roar, the coat rolled in blood, have been for burning, consumed by fire. Because a child has been born to us, a son has been given to us, and government has come onto his shoulder. People have called him an extraordinary counselor is the warrior God. The everlasting Father is an official for well-being. The growing of government and of well-being there will be no end on David's throne and on his reign, to establish it and support it with authority and faithfulness from now and forever. The passion of Yahweh armies will do this. My Lord has sent out a word against Jacob, and it has fallen on Israel. But the people, the entirety of it, acknowledge it, Ephraim and the inhabitants of Samaria, with loftiness and big-headedness. Bricks have fallen, but we will build with stone. Sycamore figs have been cut down, but we will put cedars in their place. But Yahweh has lifted high the adversaries of Rezin over it, and spurred on its enemies. Syria from the east, the Philistines from the west, and they have devoured Israel with open mouth. For all this his anger did not turn, his hand was still stretched out. The people did not turn to the one who hid it, it has not inquired of Yahweh armies. So Yahweh cut off from Israel head and tail, palm branch and reed in one day. The elder and the important person, he is the head, and the prophet who teaches falsehood, he is the tail. The guides of this people became ones who make them wander. The ones who were guided were people who were confounded. Therefore my Lord does not rejoice over its picked troops, and does not show compassion for its widows and orphans, because the entirety of it is impious and does evil, and every mouth speaks mindlessness. For all this his anger did not turn, his hand was still stretched out. Because faithfulness burned like fire, which consumes briar and thorn, it set light to the thickets of the forest, and they swirled as a column of smoke. By the fury of Yahweh armies, the country was scorched. The people became like a fire consuming. One person did not spare his neighbor. He carved to the right, but was hungry, and ate to the left, but was not full. One person eats the flesh of his offspring. Manasseh, Ephraim, Manasseh, altogether against Judah. For all this his anger did not turn, his hand was still stretched out. Hey, you who inscribe wicked statutes, who write oppressive decrees, to subvert the case of poor people and steal the rights of the lowly among my people, so that widows become their spoil and orphans their plunder. What will you do on the day when you get attention, when disaster comes from afar? To whom will you flee for help, and where will you abandon your splendor? Except cower beneath a captive, fall beneath the slain. For all this his anger did not turn, his hand was still stretched out. Do we go through the commentary as well?
We just simply asked, like, any themes stood out to you?
So, any themes stand out to you guys? Yeah, there was a lot.
You could definitely. The theme I got was Yahweh judgment, and how it'll get so bad that people will eat their offspring's flesh.
Dad, it's flaming water.
Yep. All right, we're reading right now, okay? And how at the very end, using action that just makes Yahweh angry. So, I see also it's interesting Manasseh, Ephraim, Manasseh all together against Judah. It's like even in the judgment, it's like they're fighting off against each other, but even then, he's still angry.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got out of it. The same thing, Corey.
I really like the long. People have called him an extraordinary counselor, is the warrior god, the everlasting father is an official for well-being. That's a name.
Yep. That's a very long name. I gathered that for all this, his anger did not turn. His hand was still stretched out. And it stayed stretched out. Lots of stretched out hands. But yeah, that was this is Isaiah, so that's during the time before the Assyrian exile. So it was those kings were not doing good things, and you can really see that emphasized in all this stuff. Because the kings would do a lot of the rule making, but then like those rules just kind of degraded society to the point where it's like these people are just devouring one another, both figuratively and literally.
What do you guys want to hear the longest name?
Okay.
I'm a little bit distracted.
Yes.
After ad. Let's try. Two names.
I understood none of that, but that's what makes it great.
I feel like the person was speaking nonsense.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Well, y'all ready for some commentary? My wife's son-in-law returned yesterday from one of his recurrent trips to meet with Darfuri refugees in Chad to encourage them show some interest on the part of the people from the United States and look for ways of advocating for them. The focus of activity on this occasion was the hope of sending a soccer team from Darfur to the upcoming Viva World Cup, a competition for people such as the Iraqi Kurds who cannot take part in the regular World Cup. They took with them 2 soccer coaches and organized a competition for players from the different camps to identify a squad to take part in the competition if the diplomatic and political hurdles can be overcome. And they can get the proper footwear. The Jafari usually play barefoot. It may seem an inconsequential, frivolous project, yet play can be important aid to healing, and the creation of the team and the prospect of their being able to join in the tournament is a monumental sign of hope for a people who have no hope. For Judahites, when people have experienced darkness, defeat, and oppression, the birth of a new son in the royal household is a sign of hope. This section's opening paragraph mostly speaks of Yahweh's act of restoration as if it's past, but the restoration had not happened in Isaiah's day, so it likely speaks of faith of what Isaiah knows God is going to do. They can speak as if the events have happened because they have already begun. It's a common feature of the way Scripture works. The event that has actually happened is the birth of a son to the king, perhaps the birth of Hezekiah to Ahaz. People would look back to this birth as a significant moment, given his greatness as a reformer and as one who saw Yahweh marvelously preserve Jerusalem from falling to Assyria. So he has that complicated name. An extraordinary counselor is the warrior God. The everlasting Father is an officer for well-being. Like earlier names in Isaiah, God is with us, remains will return, plunder hurries, loot rushes. The name is a sentence. None of these names are the person's everyday name, as when the New Testament says that Jesus will be called Emmanuel, God with us, without meaning this expression is Jesus' name. Rather, the person somehow stands for whatever the name says. God gives him as a sign of the truth of the expression attached to him. The names don't mean that the person is God with us, or is the remains, or is the plunder. And likewise, this new name doesn't mean that the child is what the name says. Rather, he is a sign and guarantee of it. It's as if he goes around bearing a billboard with that message and with the reminder that God commissioned the billboard. The name makes some declarations about God. The warrior God is an extraordinary counselor or planner. That is, Yahweh is expert at determining what the future should bring and seeing that it does so. And Yahweh is capable of making plans that bring about events that one would never have guessed. Further, the everlasting Father is an officer who brings well-being. Isaiah 1 bemoaned how the children have disdained their father, and they have paid for it, but their father isn't finished with them. The Hebrew word for an officer often denotes an army officer, which links with the description of Yahweh as the warrior God. In this context, shalom will then include the idea of peace. Whoa. But the word commonly has the broader meaning of well-being, life as a whole going well. This prospect is what the child's name promises Judah. The child's birth is a sign that God will restore his people. As David exercised government with faithfulness, so will this child, unlike his father. Remarkably, Isaiah starts from the restoration of Ephraim, the far northern clans of Zebulun and Naphtali, the Mediterranean region, the northeastern areas across the Jordan and Galilee, to which the Assyrians transported other peoples. The birth of a new son to David's household underwrites the future of Israel as a whole. In his mind's eye, Isaiah can see light dawning over the whole land, light that contrasts with the darkness of which chapter 8 spoke. We can see the Assyrians' yoke broken, its army turning tail, as chapters 36 through 37 will describe. Judges 6 through 8 recounts the deliverance from Midian. Neatly, Jesus started his preaching in the north, so Matthew 4 can look at his ministry in light of Isaiah's vision. Jesus hasn't brought about the fulfillment of the entire vision, not any more than Hezekiah did, but he was another sign and guarantee that God will bring about its fulfillment, and a more compelling one. He wasn't merely wearing a billboard, he embodied its message. Meanwhile, the book reverts to the critique and warning that characterized earlier chapters. They address their hey to people who were using their power and resources to act oppressively. And they spoke of God's anger not having turned away and his hand being still stretched out. That analysis, confrontation, and warning recurs, completing a frame around the account of Isaiah's commission and ministry. People have experienced reversals, but have determined to take control of the situation and have declined to recognize a need to turn to Yahweh. Yahweh has put down their misleading leaders, but also holds the ordinary and vulnerable people responsible for following them. The nation has seen a total disintegration of its community, ethos and his people's mutual commitment within the northern kingdom and that of the northern kingdom against Judah. It's still not over. They still need to turn.
I think it's really cool. The theme that stood out to me is how Jesus, while starting his ministry in Matthew 4, he's still in the spirit of the words of Isaiah for restoration coming from the north.
I had a thought, and the thought just disappeared. Give me a moment. My brain is kind of toast.
After a refill.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so we just have a bio project now. So if you want to hit the Windows key and hit the Internet Explorer logo, I have it. That one right there.
Okay, hold on. Middle finger or pointer finger?
That'll be my pointer finger.
So my middle finger. Okay.
Because you're using your right hand. Alright, and then hit that arrow right there. There you go. Then hit newest first, and then hit oldest first. Okay, and we just finished Psalms, so now we're in Deuteronomy.
Ooh, Deuteronomy is good.
The Book of Deuteronomy, the epic.
Okay.
The Book of Deuteronomy, the epic conclusion to the Torah, and spoiler alert, Moses is going to die. Now, in order to understand this book, we need to remember the story so far.
So Israel has escaped from slavery in Egypt. Then they spend 1 year at Mount Sinai.
This is where they made the covenant with God to obey all of these laws.
Then they wander around the desert for 40 years before they make it to the Jordan River, which is right across from the land God promised them. They're ready to go in. This is where the book of Deuteronomy begins.
And what this book is really is a speech. Moses gives these final words. It's like a pep talk to the new generation of Israel that's about to go into the land. And the speech, it's broken up into 3 large sections.
So Moses begins the first part of the speech with a somber tone because he's highlighting Israel's rebellion and resistance, which has been going on for the last 40 years.
And that sets up the rest of this opening section, which is Moses' challenge to this new generation to be different from their parents and to respond to God's grace with love and obedience. So he reminds them of the 10 Commandments, like the basics of the covenant, and then he gives them this very famous line.
Listen, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength.
Now, in Jewish tradition, this is called the Shema, because the first Hebrew word in this line is Shema Yisrael. And this became a very important prayer in Judaism, said twice a day. And it emphasizes the Israelites' exclusive commitment to their God, the one true God who loved them and who rescued them from slavery.
Right, because they're about to go into a land where people are worshiping many other gods.
And Moses thinks that loyalty to the Lord their God is the only way to life. Now, notice these key words in the Shema, listen and love. You're going to find these words all over this opening section of the speech. The word listen in Hebrew means more than just let sound waves come into your ears. It includes the idea of responding to what you hear. So for Israel, this means responding to God's grace by obeying the laws of the covenant.
And then listen is always followed by love.
Yeah, so love is the true motivation for obeying the laws. Israel won't obey without love, and they don't truly love if they don't obey. So there's this tight connection between loving and listening that runs through the entire book. And so Moses tells them that if they do listen and love, they will fulfill their original calling as the family of Abraham, to show all of the nations the wisdom and justice of God, and so become a blessing to them.
The second big section in Deuteronomy is a large block of laws and commands.
And this is where the book gets its name. Deuteronomy means a second law. And it's because many of these laws we've heard before. In fact, in the first line of the book, we're told that Moses is here explaining or clarifying the laws. So he's repeating and expanding on the laws, making them relevant to this new generation.
There's laws about how Israel's to worship God, laws about their leadership structure, laws about social justice, and then some more laws about their worship.
Now, after all of the laws, Moses warns Israel of the consequences of their obedience or disobedience, or in his words, the blessing or the curse. If they listen and love, they will experience blessing and abundance in the land. And if they don't, there's going to be famine and plagues, and they'll be forced off their land into exile.
And that brings us to the final section of his speech.
Yeah, here Moses says, I set before you today life or death, blessing or curse. So choose life. But then things get really interesting because after 40 years with these people, Moses knows they're not going to obey. And so he predicts their failure and even their future exile from the promised land. And he focuses on what he thinks is the true source of the problem, that they have hard and selfish hearts. It's as if Israel is incapable of truly loving God in a way that brings about obedience.
But this problem isn't unique to Israel.
Yeah, in fact, Moses, when he's using this language about blessing and curse, he's tying Israel's story all the way back to all humanity's story from Genesis 1 through 3.
So Adam and Eve, they were blessed by God just like Israel and given a choice to trust and obey God like Israel.
And then they rebelled and brought a curse on the land, like Moses knows Israel is going to do. And so these stories, they're about Israel's hard heart, but they're actually a window into the universal human condition.
But Moses doesn't give up hope entirely.
That's right. He says that somehow, on the other side of Israel's exile, God promises to transform their heart so that one day they truly can listen and love.
In the final chapters, Joshua is appointed as the new leader of Israel.
And then Moses takes the entire law code,
The one he just predicted Israel would break.
that's right, and he puts it into the Ark of the Covenant. And then Moses hikes up to the top of a mountain so he can see the promised land from afar, and then he dies. And that's how the Torah ends.
Which is a strange place to end a story. I mean, it's right there at the climax. Will they obey the laws and live faithfully in the land or not?
Well, the story does continue right into Joshua, the next book of the Bible, but this is the end of the Torah, and it's been ended here for a reason. The Torah is written for people who are either outside of the land or who are still waiting for the fulfillment of God's promise to bless the whole world. And so now, as each generation reads the Torah, they find themselves called to hope in what Moses hoped for, a new, transformed heart that one day can truly listen and love.
Well, what stood out to you guys? What I do is I usually ask him first, and then
Did anything stand out to you?
then it's me, not it's us. I love how it brought brought out how even Moses during the time was like, all right, it like contextualized the current laws, which just shows to me. So you even see that with Jesus when he talks about the writing of the certificates is how there's the original, like the original intent is to love the Lord God with all your whole soul, mind, and strength, and how the laws are always just ways on working that out. And like every generation has to work on what that means. So that's pretty feels like pretty important to me right now.
But too is people have to live it out to what they believe that is too, because a lot of people are like, if they don't know the Lord, then
Dad,
it's hard
when
for
are you
them
guys gonna go?
to understand.
Any moment, get your shoes on.
They're already on.
Nice.
And a lot of people don't know what that means to love the Lord
Yeah.
with all their heart, soul, and mind.
Yeah. Well,
So, as a fallen world.
yeah. If you don't know, you don't know, and that's why that's our job to be ambassadors, calling people to King Jesus.
Yeah, it reminds me of some scripture. Also thinking about read earlier with Isaiah. Can't remember exactly where it is, but there's a verse that says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge."
Yeah.
It's like, I think there's a certain responsibility in then teaching the people around us, because otherwise, it brings disaster on them, and we shouldn't want that.
Thank you guys for joining. Or that's it for tonight. See you later for some TMT, most likely. Peace.